Epictetus's motivational quotes worth listening to. It is better to do wrong seldom and to own it, and to act right for the most part, than seldom to admit that you have done wrong, and to do wrong often. Do not afflict others with anything that you yourself would not wish to suffer. If you would not like to be a slave, make sure no one is your slave. If you have slaves, you yourself are the greatest slave, for just as freedom is incompatible with slavery, so goodness is incompatible with hypocrisy. We must not believe the many who say that only free people ought to be educated, but we should rather believe the philosophers who say that only the educated are free. Is freedom anything else than the right to live as we wish? Nothing else. Who then is invincible? The one who cannot be upset by anything outside their reasoned choice. Don't live by your own rules, but in harmony with nature. When any person harms you, or speaks badly of you, remember that he acts or speaks from a supposition of its being his duty. It is not possible that he should follow what appears right to you, but what appears so to himself. Therefore, if he judges from a wrong appearance, he is the person hurt, since he too is the person deceived. The essence of philosophy is that a man should so live that his happiness shall depend as little as possible on external things. Men are disturbed not by the things that happen, but by their opinion of the things that happen. What concerns me is not the way things are, but the way people think things are. If you seek truth, you will not seek to gain a victory by every possible means, and when you have found truth, you need not fear being defeated. In banquets remember that you entertain two guests, body and soul, and whatever you shall have given to the body you soon eject, but what you shall have given to the soul, you keep always. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself, which are externals not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Don't put your purpose in one place and expect to see progress made somewhere else. Neither should a ship rely on one small anchor, nor should life rest on a single hope. So what oppresses and scares us? It is our own thoughts, obviously. What overwhelms people when they are about to leave friends, family, old haunts, and their accustomed way of life? Thoughts. God save me from fools with a little philosophy. No one is more difficult to reach. Man, what are you talking about? Me in chains. You may fetter my leg, but my will, not even Zeus himself can overpower. If they are wise, do not quarrel with them. If they are fools, ignore them. As the sun does not wait for prayers and incantations to be induced to rise, but immediately shines and is saluted by all, so do you also not wait for clappings of hands and shouts of praise to be induced to do good, but be a doer of good voluntarily, and you will be beloved as much as the sun. Those who are well constituted in the body endure both heat and cold, and so those who are well constituted in the soul endure both anger and grief and excessive joy and the other effects. Why do you want to read anyway? For the sake of amusement or mere erudition? Those are poor, fatuous pretexts. Reading should serve the goal of attaining peace. If it doesn't make you peaceful, what good is it? We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Men are disturbed, not by things, but by the principles and notions which they form concerning things. Very little is needed for everything to be upset and ruined, only a slight lapse in reason. Men are disturbed not by the things which happen, but by the opinion about the things. For sheep don't throw up the grass to show the shepherds how much they have eaten, but inwardly digesting their food, they outwardly produce wool and milk. A city is not adorned by external things, but by the virtue of those who dwell in it. As a man, casting off worn-out garments, taketh new ones, so the dweller in the body entereth into ones that are new. The philosopher's school, ye men, is a surgery. You ought not to go out of it with pleasure, but with pain. For you are not in sound health when you enter. Whoever then would be free, let him wish for nothing, let him decline nothing, which depends on others, else he must necessarily be a slave. When someone is properly grounded in life,